I wear the chain I forged in life. But what if you are forging a chain right now and you don't even know it? What if every single day, with every little choice you make, you're just adding another link to a chain that you'll have to drag around forever?
All right, let's get into it. Welcome to the Evergreen Reader, where today we are cracking open maybe one of the most famous stories of all time, Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol. And look, I want you to forget the cute, cozy holiday special you think you know. We are going deep, and I mean deep, into this seriously spooky little book to pull out a message so powerful, honestly, it might just change everything.
So, first things first, let's meet the man of the hour, the original Christmas Grinch himself, Ebenezer Scrooge. Picture this, it's the 1840s in London. The streets are just choked with this cold pea soup fog lit by these eerie gas lamps. Dickens is a master at this stuff. He doesn't just tell you Scrooge is a jerk. Nah, he makes you feel it in your bones. I mean, just listen to these words. Squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching. That's not just a description, right? That's an assault on the senses. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Dickens wants you to get it, right from page 1. This is not just some grumpy old dude. This is a man whose actual soul has been twisted and warped by his greed. And this is where it gets really clever. Dickens uses the weather, the environment itself, as a metaphor for Scrooge's soul. Yeah, he's hard and sharp as flint, solitary as an oyster. Great lines. But the real kicker is this idea that he carried his own low temperature with him. Think about that. The freezing fog, the biting cold of London, it's not just the setting, it's literally radiating from him. He is a walking, talking blizzard.
And this just sets up the central conflict of the whole story, right? It's a total clash of worldviews. You've got his nephew, Fred, who is just all about warmth and connection and family. For him, Christmas is this amazing time to be a better person. And then there's Scrooge. For him, Christmas is a bill. It's a day he has to pay his clerk for doing no work. It's all about profit and loss. He doesn't see people, he sees assets and liabilities. And Christmas, that's a big fat liability.
And this is where we see the truly terrifying logic behind his miserliness. When some gentlemen come asking for a donation for the poor, this is what he says. It's not just that he's cheap. He genuinely 100% believes that these horrible places, prisons, the union workhouses, are the right answer. In his mind, if you're poor, you're just surplus population. You're a problem to be solved, not a person to be helped. It's such a cold, cruel, almost mechanical way of looking at other human beings.
But all that is about to change. Scrooge's perfectly ordered, cold, calculated little world is about to get completely shattered. And this isn't some gentle story where a guy slowly comes around to a new point of view. Oh no. This is a story about a man being violently, supernaturally shaken awake.
So just try to imagine this. Scrooge's home, it's dark, it's gloomy, he's in the rooms that used to belong to his business partner Marley, who's been dead for 7 years. He goes to open his door, and for just a second, the big metal door knocker, it's Marley's face. He shakes it off, thinks he's crazy, locks himself in, but then a little bell in the room, one that never rings, starts to move. And then another, and suddenly every bell in the house is ringing like crazy. The noise is deafening, and then it stops. And it's replaced by this clanking, dragging sound coming up the stairs. The terror in that scene is just wow. And then, through the door, comes the ghost of Jacob Marley. He's kind of see-through, and he's wrapped in this massive, heavy chain. And look what the chain is made of. It's cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers, all the stuff from their business. It's so brilliant. Dickens is literally showing us that the things Marley worshipped in life have become his prison in death. He is literally weighed down by his own greed. Now, Marley isn't just there to be spoopy. He's there with a mission. He's delivering this incredibly urgent warning, and he makes it crystal clear. This chain, I forged it myself. Link by link, I chose this. And then he drops maybe the most terrifying line in the whole book. He looks at Scrooge and says, "Your chain was as long and heavy as this one 7 years ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain." In other words, your chain is even bigger than mine. This is Scrooge's one single last chance to escape.
And this next part, this is it. This is the main idea of the entire book, right here. Scrooge tries to comfort the ghost, saying, "But you were always a good man of business, Jacob." And Marley's ghost just shrieks in agony. He screams that mankind was my business. He finally gets it, but it's too late. His real job wasn't making money. His real job was charity, mercy, benevolence. His real business was taking care of other people.
So Marley's warning is the setup. Now come the ghosts. And Scrooge's journey back to humanity, it can't start with what's to come. Nope. It has to start by digging up everything he's tried to bury.
So the first spirit arrives, the ghost of Christmas past. And it's this really weird figure. It looks like a child, but also like an old man. It's flickering like a candle, and there's this bright jet of light shooting out of its head. That light, that's memory. It's truth. But here's the interesting part. The ghost is carrying a cap like a candle snuffer, and it tells Scrooge, "You're the one who made me carry this, so you can put out my light whenever a memory gets too real for you." And so begins this whirlwind tour of Scrooge's own past. First, they visit him as this sad, lonely little boy left all alone at boarding school over Christmas. It's heartbreaking. Then we see him as a young apprentice at a Christmas party thrown by his amazing boss, Fezziwig. And he's happy, he's joyful. You see the person he was supposed to become. And then the ghost shows him the moment it all went wrong. The moment his fiancée, Belle, tells him she's leaving him because she knows another love has replaced her, the love of money.
And that Fezziwig scene, oh man, it is so important because the ghost is kind of cynical about it, like he didn't spend that much money on the party. But Scrooge himself, Scrooge defends Fezziwig. He says the happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune. Get that? Scrooge, the ultimate miser, explains out loud that happiness and generosity are more valuable than money. The irony is incredible. He knows the truth. He's just spent his whole life pretending he doesn't. But the ghost isn't done. It saves the most gut-wrenching memory for last. Scrooge has to watch his ex-fiancée, Belle, years later. She's happy. She's married. She has a house full of laughing, chaotic, wonderful children. And in that moment, Scrooge sees everything he gave up. Not just a wife, but a whole life. A whole universe of love and family and connection that he traded for, what? A dusty office and a cold, empty bed. He sees what he lost, and it finally breaks him. Okay, so what's the big idea here? What are we supposed to take away from Marley's chains and this painful trip down memory lane?
Here's our evergreen takeaway for you. The chains of regret are forged not by single, huge evil acts, but by 1,000 tiny daily choices of indifference. You know, Scrooge didn't just wake up one day as a monster. It happened slowly. It was one choice at a time. Choosing the ledger over a conversation. Choosing profit over a person. Choosing to look away instead of helping. He just kept making those little choices day after day, year after year, until there was nothing left but ice.
And that brings us to the reader's challenge. Because this story, it's really about us, isn't it? So here it is. What is one small act of generosity or connection you can choose to do today? Seriously, something small.
It doesn't have to be a big deal. It could be a quick text to a friend you haven't talked to, letting your coworker go first for coffee, whatever. Just one small choice to add a link of kindness to your life instead of another link in a chain of regret. Give it a shot, and hey, let us know what you did down in the comments. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you on the next one.